Did Clarence Thomas just throw a wrench into the Republican Party's election map plans? The Supreme Court is once again at the center of a fierce political battle, and this time, it's all about congressional districts and the future of representation in Alabama. A map that helped Democrats flip a House seat is now facing an emergency appeal, and Justice Thomas has the power to decide its fate, but not without putting everyone on notice. Before we dive into the complex legal and political maneuvering, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and allows us to bring you the latest updates and analysis. So, what exactly is going on in Alabama? It all started with a congressional map drawn by the Republican-controlled state legislature in 2023. This map was designed to favor Republican candidates, but it was blocked by a lower court. Instead, that court ordered Alabama to use a map that had been drawn by a special master, a map that happened to create a second Black Opportunity District. And guess what? This court-approved map helped Democratic Representative Shomari figures win a deeply Republican seat in 2024. Now, Alabama's Republican Attorney General is demanding the Supreme Court step in and immediately revive their original 2023 map. They've asked for emergency relief, essentially telling the Supreme Court, put our map back in place now. Their argument hinges on a recent Supreme Court ruling, Louisiana versus Calais, which Republicans believe gives them a powerful new tool to challenge maps that create additional minority districts. They claim the lower court's decision defying this ruling is unconstitutional. But Justice Clarence Thomas, who is assigned to this particular circuit, has taken a different approach. On Wednesday, he declined to immediately grant Alabama's request to reinstate their 2023 map. However, he also didn't dismiss their plea outright. Instead, he's put the voting rights challengers, the groups defending the special master's map, on the clock. They have until Monday to explain why Alabama's legislature-drawn map shouldn't be used. This effectively puts the ball back in the court of the challengers, but under a very strict deadline. This isn't just a sudden development, it's the latest chapter in a long and contentious redistricting saga. Following the Supreme Court's April ruling in the Louisiana case, which narrowed the interpretation of a key provision in the Voting Rights Act, GOP-led states like Alabama saw an opportunity. Prior to that ruling, the Supreme Court had already upheld a challenge to Alabama's old 2020 census map, leading to the implementation of the special master's map that benefited Democrats. Now, with the Calais decision, Alabama is trying to use the new legal precedent to overturn the block on their 2023 map. The timing of Justice Thomas' order is particularly significant. Alabama officials had already been preparing for a swift return to their preferred map. After a previous Supreme Court order in May sent the case back to a lower court, Governor Kay Ivey even called for special primaries in August for the affected congressional districts, signaling readiness to move forward with the legislature-drawn map. This quick action suggests a belief that their appeal would be successful. So, what does this all mean? Justice Thomas's decision is a temporary hold, not a final victory for either side. He has given the voting rights advocates a chance to make their case, but the pressure is on them to act fast. The underlying issue is a legal interpretation of the Voting Rights Act, and how it applies to redistricting in an increasingly polarized America. The Louisiana versus Calais ruling has undeniably shifted the legal landscape, and its impact is now being felt in cases like this one in Alabama. The stakes are incredibly high. If Alabama's Republican-drawn map is eventually reinstated, it could lead to the loss of a Democratic House seat and potentially reshape the balance of power in Congress. This isn't just about Alabama, it's a test case that could influence redistricting battles across the country, potentially making it harder to create districts that ensure fair representation for minority voters. The Supreme Court's handling of these cases has become a major focal point in the ongoing fight for voting rights and political equality. So what do you think about this? Is Justice Thomas playing a strategic game, or is this just a procedural move? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a developing story with significant implications, and we'll be here to break it all down as it unfolds. The fight for fair representation is far from over.